So today we are going to start another subject, that is e-commerce. Till now in this period we have seen RDBMS. So we have completed 2 units in RDBMS. So now we'll have a look of e-commerce. So in this subject we have a total as usual 5 units. So already we know about e-commerce. So electronic commerce, all the purchases, sales, services, whatever it might be, everything will go through online. So whatever the online transactions we do, that is nothing but e-commerce. Okay. So now in this subject we are going to learn how this e-commerce will become a part of our life. So nowadays it is in boom. So everyone are approaching with online transactions and online payments and online purchases. So instead of no one is having time to go to a store and check for the product. So everyone want to see, or everyone want to buy any product from home where they have set. So through mobile phones or through laptops or whatever it might be, through this electronic media, everyone want to purchase, or everyone want to go with the transactions online, even the payments. So this e-commerce business became very huge nowadays. So we are going to see how it will become popular. So what are the things we have and how to make this e-commerce business more popular. All these things will discuss in this complete chapter. Okay. Now the first initial part is what is e-commerce and advantages and limitations of e-business. What are traditional approaches and contemporary models, impact of e-commerce on business, classification of e-commerce: B2B, business to business, business to customer, customer to business, customer to customer, business to entrepreneurship, and applications of e-commerce, e-commerce organization applications, e-marketing, e-advertising, e-banking, mobile commerce, e-trading, e-learning, e-shopping. So all these are the things which we are going to discuss in unit 1. Okay. Now, so first define e-commerce. So what is the basic definition of e-commerce? So e-commerce or electronic commerce is simply an online business wherein the buying and selling of products and services are carried out through internet. So if you want to purchase anything or if you want to sell anything, everything which is done through online is considered as e-commerce. It comprises of both business to business and business to consumer transactions, B2B and B2C. In addition to buying and selling, e-commerce also helps marketing and servicing, as well as delivery and payment of products through internet, extranets, intranets, or some other networks. So what are the goals? What we can achieve? Here, cost reduction and a lower product cycle time, improved service quality, and faster customer response. So all these things are the basic goals of electronic commerce, what they want to achieve. Mostly they want to achieve the cost reduction and lower product cycle time. So within less time the entire production or entire that production cycle should be completed, and improved service quality. So based on this, they want to improve the quality of the services, whatever they want to provide, and the faster customer response. Immediately whatever they will receive can give a feedback. Okay. So everyone will ask, for example, if a Zomato service boy or Food Panda service boy, they'll ask you, sir, please rate, please give us 5 rating, 5 rating, 5 rating. So that is immediate. Customer response is immediate. So all those things are possible through this electronic commerce, e-commerce. Major reviews are possible, immediate reviews will be possible with e-commerce. Next, e-commerce can be defined in several ways through different perspectives. So through e-commerce, the communication perspective E-commerce can be defined as a process of delivering products, services and information or payments through computer. So that is how we can communicate through e-commerce. Let's come to commercial view. E-commerce can be defined as a process of buying and selling. In the communication, we are delivering the products and services. In commercial, we are purchasing the services. Under service perspective, it defined as a tool of dealing with the desired government firms, management, consumers. Their desires is to reduce the service cost, improve customer service quality and increase the service delivery speed. See, if you want to apply for any applications or anything, olden days we used to go to MRO offices and MDO offices, but now everything is online, everything is computerized. Directly we are going with MeSeva centers, and directly where we can apply for any certificate. So that is comes under service perspective. Under business process perspective, e-commerce is defined as a process that performs electronic business through electronic networks. So by staying at home, we can put our things in online. So we can sell all the things in online. We can send the things to the particular customer. So all these things are possible. We can do the business through e-commerce. Collaborative perspective. It is defined as a framework that collaborates both inter and intra organizations. So even we can go with within the state or with in the different states or different cities. So wherever we are, either it is possible to combine inter organization or intra organization, different organization in between the organizations or within the organization. So whatever collaboration you want, we can go with this collaboration with this. So next, community perspective. E-commerce is defined as a place where all the community members can gather, learn and transact and collaborate. So these are all the advantages whatever you have by using this e-commerce. And then we'll go with the importance of e-commerce. So by using this e-commerce, we can improvement in productivity. E-commerce has drastically reduced the time required for creating and processing the business transaction. So additionally, e-commerce avoids several errors like duplication of records and also reduces data entry and re-entry of works. This results in the improvement of overall productivity. So whatever the items, if you want to purchase through Amazon or Google, Amazon or Flipkart, whatever, so it is giving you a complete picture which item you want to purchase or which kind of items you are into looking for. So there we have different categories. Based on the categories, we can search it off. So it is very easy and very user friendly. And reduction in cost. From the earlier experience of e-commerce adopters, research has been shown that using e-commerce business is resulted 5 to 10% cost saving. The saving is due to quick and efficient communication and closer access market and customers. So everything is online, so we don't require any physical space to store all the goods. Okay, we have no need to require a physical space to keep all the things at one place. Why? Because nowadays no one are coming to shops. Everyone are doing their transaction through online or through mobile phone or through laptop. So we can reduce that space, we can reduce that cost. So all these things are possible with respect to e-commerce. Next, automation of business process. So computerized streamlining business process involves further reduction in costs. If inventories are automated, then business can be internet to share information like point of sale data, and it can be used for forecasting sales. So whatever the information we require, simply we can get it from internet, and about a product or what is the product, advantage of product, reviews on the product, everything we can get it through online. So this automation business process will give you an advantages through e-business. Next, goods customer service. An important advantage of e-commerce is that it is a direct and better communication with customers. The feedback and suggestions of customers be known quickly and respective changes in the product can be made. So they will support 24/7 online support for the customer support. So business expansion opportunities. Since e-business is done over internet, it has access to a broad range of customers from several parts of the world. Therefore, this is a greater chance for business expansion. So if you go with a single physical place to start your business, so that business will be covered only within that city. So if you put the same business in an internet, it can reach throughout the world. So wherever they are, wherever your people are, so everyone can reach to you if it is online. So these are the advantages what you have with the e-commerce. So here importance of e-commerce: improvement on productivity, reduction in cost, automation of business process, good customer service, and business expansion opportunity. So if you remember the headings, easily you can write the content, no problem. So it is a generalized subject. So we can easily cope up. It's not a big deal. So what are the basic three pillars of e-commerce? So it is an important question for you. First one is electronic information, electronic relationship, and electronic transaction. So if you want to create a e-business or e-commerce thing, first of all you have to gather the information what you want to do and which kind of business you want to make, and you have to keep that entire information in the internet. If the information is not provided, then it is very difficult for the customer to select your product. So he has to know the complete details about your product. So the complete information should be provided in that particular e-commerce site. So the content must be in web readable format. The web page containing is required information shouldn't hang up. The link provides in the web page must navigate to the correct location. For example, you want to search for a watch in a Flipkart or Amazon. You are looking for some watches. So if you click on a watch, obviously it has to redirect to the same watch description. It shouldn't redirect to some other product. So whatever the links which I have provided, it should redirect you to the correct location, and the user must easily find the necessary information. So in that there will have some filters which are available. So by using those filters, every user must feel like selecting for a product, searching for a product is very much easy here. So every information, everything you must provide in the internet. So that is electronic information. Providing electronic information is the first pillar. Okay. Then after that, the second one is electronic relationships. So this is the center pillar. So electronic relationship pillar specifies the way of constructing a website in such that a user viewing the web must be revisit the same. Okay. Once a customer visits our website, he should feel that the navigation of website is very easy, it is very catchy and very attractive. He must visit that website multiple times. So you have to design a website in such a way that the user must feel it is very user friendly, easy to access, all the filters which are available are good. So it must be eye catchy. Okay. So the central pillar, that is electronic relationship pillar, specifies the way of constructing a website in such that user viewing the website must revisit the same site in a positive manner. This pillar concentrates on establishing the relationship with the user in an electronic form. This relationship can be maintained if the constructed website consists of the following features. The website must be innovative. The website must create forms for enabling the users to provide their feedback. This website must provide information and include interaction facility. Okay, if you have any doubts, if it provides any chat facility to interact with the person, which kind of product you want, or if you require any help, they will help you. So that website must have these 3 points. So electronic information must be provided and electronic relationship we have to maintain. Third, obviously you must allow electronic transactions. So if you want to perform any transaction, any payment, it should allow card payments or UPI payments or whatever the payments you want to go with, you can go with. So online payments, online transactions also be provided. So these are the 3 basic pillars for e-commerce. You have to provide that information and you have to maintain that electronic relationship and electronic payments. These are the basic pillars of e-commerce. first pillar, second pillar, third pillar. Now here we have one more. It explain about traditional value chain and customer oriented value chain. So in the olden days, that is to be considered as traditional. Oh. So now next point will be explain traditional value chain and customer oriented value chain. So here traditional approach in the sense whatever we have approached in the olden days, like direct communication between the customer and the supplier. So how they will communicate. So the traditional value chain shows the way of passing information between the supplier and the customer in a sequential manner. In this chain, the input or output are provided to the supplier at the backstage. This is the information regarding supplier input output are not revealed to the customer. So actual things are not revealed to the customer, how the supplier have got this information. So whatever the information the supplier have received, he will portray the same information to the customer. He will give you the complete information about the product. And here this flow information from supplier to customer is done by a different process, such as inbound logistic production and outbound logistic production. So either it can be inbound or it can be outbound. So whatever it might be, the information to be passed to the customer from the supplier. So the major drawback of this chain is that it fails to establish strong relationship between the firm, cashier and the supplier. Okay. So we can't create a bond between these three people. So directly we'll have a customer and a supplier. Okay. So in between whatever the cashier we have, so we can't include that cashier into this business. So this is the things what you have, a basic traditional value chain. So instead of this, if you go with the customer oriented value chain, so here we'll give the importance for the customer. So customer oriented value chain is developed to overcome the loophole of traditional value chain. So the customer oriented value chain focuses on establishing the relation between the firm and the customer. In this chain, the information system of respective firm links all the phases of the process together. So what are the advantages here we have? It enables the customer to have access over the information system of the firm irrespective of the place. So whatever the place we have, the consumer can know the information about the company, and it enables the customer to receive specification regarding design and product in an electronic format before accessing the sale information. So if you want to go with purchase or anything, before that you will get the complete information about that product through online. And it enables the customer to read the status of the ordered product. So we can see the reviews of the ordered product. So whatever the items which we have ordered, whether we have ordered a correct item or not, all these things we can see. And it enables the customer to read the shipping status of ordered product. For example, if you have ordered anything, we can see the transit status. And it enables the supplier to provide better customer service. So obviously the suppliers will provide you the better services. And these are the things what we have with customer oriented value chain. So everyone will start their business where we have customers. So you have to plan a strategy which is related to the customer point of view. Okay. So in this chain, it is very important that a supplier who acts as a customer to another supplier share its procurement system with the information system of its supplier. So this is required so that the supplier receives similar information that is provided him to the own customer. So here we have customer oriented chain. So here are the services which the customer is required. Here we have that information system. So in this information system, we can get, the customer can get services through marketing, that complete procurement, the production information through outbound logistics. So this is a simple diagram which explains you about this customer oriented value chain. Okay. So what are the potential benefits of e-commerce? Already we have seen this question, expansion of business market space and reduction of purchasing administrative cost and creating specialized businesses. So e-commerce helps organization to create specialized businesses. An example, website for purchasing cat toys will be cattoys.com. In physical world, cat toys can be purchased at departmental or gallery stores, thus incurring the cost of traveling to buy a toy. But if it is in online, so we don't have that much expenses, so directly we can buy from home. So reduction in inventories and overheads. Full type supply chain management offered e-commerce helps the reduction of inventories and overheads. The pull type system uses just-in-time manufacturing. The implementers of a pull time system achieves expensive services and customization of products. For example, Dell Computer Corporation, based on the order, based on the demand, they will start the supplying of all the items. So whenever we have received an order, based on that order only we will start manufacturing that particular items. Okay, so that we can reduce some overheads. And reduction in time, the time between the outlay of capital and the receipt of products and services is reduced by e-commerce. So immediately whatever the product we have purchased, we can put it in a e-commerce site, and who have seen, whenever we launch that product, from that day onwards your incomes will going to start. So we can reduce the time in between the production and the sale. And initiating a business process, re-engineering projects. So re-engineering business projects was initiated by e-commerce because it helps in increasing productivity of sale. So for example, whenever we exchange our mobile phone, so what they'll do is they'll refurbish the same mobiles and they'll sell the same mobiles in online portals. So actual cost would be 15,000, they'll sell it for 8,000 or 9,000. So that's just like a second hand mobile phone, but it is refurnished. Okay, so those kind of things can be possible, re-engineering processes can be possible through e-commerce. Reduction in communication cost. So the cost of communication is less in e-commerce as internet is cheaper than vans. So in addition to these benefits, other benefits are as follows: improvement in image and customer services, compressed delivery and cycle time, increased flexibility and productivity, elimination of paper. So we don't use any paper. Why? Because we are using internet and mobile things. And faster access to the information. So whatever the information we require about that product, we can get it on the description. And simple process, the purchasing process is very simple. And newly found business partners. So we can go with online products and online business, work from home businesses through these online portals. So these are the benefits for a organization. Now we will see the benefits to the customer. What are the benefits to the customer by this e-commerce? So we can do easy transactions. We will have a wider range of things, we can search it in internet, and a quick delivery is possible. Nowadays Flipkart and Amazon are delivering the items in a day. So if you order today, by tomorrow afternoon you can get your product. Okay, and that is quick delivery is possible, and less expensive products and services. The cost of products and services offered by e-commerce to its customers is very less when compared to the ones offered by other vendors. So whenever if you purchase any item at shop and at online, the prices will differ. Next, what are the benefits to the society? So eco-friendliness, air pollution and traffic on roads are reduced by doing shopping at home, and increase in standards of living. Few merchandise are sold at a lower price so that customers from any urban or rural areas can buy them and increase their standard of living. Delivery of public services, we can provide the delivery of public services to the society. So these are all the advantages what you have. Advantages to the organization, advantages to the customer, and advantages to the advantage to the society, whatever we have. So these are the basic introduction part of e-commerce, types of e-commerce, and the olden days, whatever the chain we have, and now we have customer oriented chains. So, and the advantages of e-commerce for a firm, for a business, for a customer. So all these things which we have discussed in today's class. So you just go through with the notes whatever you have in the starting part, and in the next classes we'll see the next part, the global information distribution network. What is this global information distribution network? And we'll see what is www, what is internet, what it enables, e-commerce, and we'll discuss about limitations of e-commerce, and the challenges by facing growth and spread of e-commerce in India. So all these things we'll discuss it in the next class. So that's all for today. So you just go through with it and you just revise the topics. Everything is very common and generalized subject. So if you read the papers and if you read the books, while comparison by imagination, you'll come to know and you can write it very easily. So it is not a difficult subject, it's very easy who are having basic knowledge. Okay.